Hello everyone, welcome back to computer class of class 5. Without further too much talk, let's get to our computer class. Today we are going to be progressing a little further from where we left last week. Last week we had tried to understand what a computer is and what are the various types of a computer. Today's class is going to be on the next part. What is it that makes a machine a computer? Okay, or basically what are the essential parts of a computer? Okay, before we begin, remember last class I had told you that computers come in different shapes and sizes. Okay, a mobile phone is also a computer. There are computer chips installed on cars. There are computer chips installed on almost many machines these days that we come across, from aeroplanes, from rockets. The very recently launched Chandrayaan mission that was launched for Moon, and also all the spacecrafts that go far beyond, they are all controlled by computers. And also, for those of you who are wondering, how can we go about classes through online and distance education, remember all those spacecrafts which travel far beyond the limits of our earth, they are controlled by computers. Okay, they are all controlled, they all follow commands. So if we can perform miracles all the way on Mars by controlling machines around Mars or in Mars also by the virtue of rovers that have gone onto Mars, we can also do the same in our everyday life, and education is one of them. So today we are going to be continuing with our online classes, and if we can do there, we can do it here also. Just follow me. For any confusions, as I had said in the previous class also, any confusions you can get back to me. You know my personal contact numbers also by now, those of you know through your WhatsApp groups. You can WhatsApp me for your queries, but only WhatsApp me if you have a legitimate query. Okay, let's not, as I said, though, let's not make a crowd of useless chitter chatter, whatever. So our today's class is going to be on the next part, that is, what are the various parts of a computer. Okay, the session 2 comprises of parts of computer. Let me just remove my obnoxious face that is covering this. Okay, yeah, there you can see. I'll just take it here. Yes, I think one logo of Journals Academy is sufficient. Yeah. So you can see our today's discussion is going to be parts of computer, and let us begin. So when you talk about computer, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? I hope most of you have heard about it in the previous classes, and we are going to be just discussing them a little bit more. Okay, so let's begin. A computer. See, you see on your screen here, this is a computer here, and sorry, there. Sorry, now it's there. Yeah, it's there. A computer is generally divided into two parts. Okay, they are hardware and software. Very simple. I am pretty much sure most of you know it by now. Hardware and software. Just like if I'm talking about a human body or a person. A person or a human being is made up of two parts: the body and the personality. We all have the same body. We have the same number of lungs. We have eyes, ears, body parts are almost the same. Alright? But what makes us different is our different personalities. We all have different personalities. I like blue, you may like red. I like vegetarian, you may like non-vegetarian. I like Hindi music, you like pop, rock music, English music. These are called traits of a personality. This is what makes a person different from others. The hardware of the body is the same. God has made everybody having the same hardware. But the software of the body, the personality, the thinking, the mind, the process of thinking is different in each human being. I'll give you another example. We are learning English through an English medium school, correct? But a child born in England knows English quite naturally. Why? Because a child born in England has grown up learning English, listening to English. Like, for example, us. We have grown up learning our own mother tongue. Our mother tongue is a different language for the person born in England. Okay? For them, this is a foreign language. For us, English is a foreign language. This is what makes our brains work differently. Okay? Our brain gets adopted to whatever it sees around us and starts to learn. Okay? So this is what makes our brains different. Our thinking process makes our brains different. Similarly, every computer comprises of two parts: the hardware, the body parts, the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, etc., etc., etc. All these are common to almost all computers. Almost all computers in the world will have these very basic hardware. All right, but all these computers are different because they have different software. So that was a brief introduction. We'll understand this more and more as and when we go through our different classes. Let us continue with our class of today. And the first thing that we're going to be talking about, let me again move my obnoxious face from here into this corner here. Just let me know in your comments if you want me in the video. Okay, if you don't want me in the video, if I'm becoming too annoying, you can ask me that. So sir, just remove your video, we can watch the screen only, then you can hear my voice. I'll add next time I make a video, I'm going to make a video only with my voice. So coming back, let us start with computer hardware. What is the computer hardware? Before we progress to computer hardware, let us understand the very basic dictionary meaning of the word hardware. Hardware, in general terms, is the parts of a machine. Okay, something that is hard to wear, hard to touch. Something that you can touch, physically touch. Okay, that is known as hardware. Any part of a machine that you can touch is a hardware. The car of a tire, the steering wheel, the tire of a car. Oh, the car of a tire. I was funny on that. The tire of a car, the steering wheel, the mobile phone, everything that you can touch, the parts of a machine are its hardware. Okay, and what is a computer hardware? Same thing applies. Whatever part of a computer that you can touch is known as hardware. Okay, now just make a guess of things that you can touch. Okay, in a hardware, in a computer: keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, speaker. These are all hardware of a computer. Now, before we carry on, even hardwares are of two types. All right, they are the first basic hardware of a computer, the most important hardware. Without these hardware, a computer will not function. All right, so there are four basic parts, four basic hardware of a computer, and when I show them on you, then on my screen, I'm pretty much sure you will understand it very clearly. The first one, the monitor. Okay, the TV screen. Okay, also called as the VDU, visual display unit. Technical term, not required, just no monitor. The monitor is there on a desktop computer, it is there on a laptop, it is there on a mobile phone. The touch screen is the visual unit. Okay, it is there on your wristwatches, those people who are wearing smartwatches. So basically any display screen of a computer is the monitor. Okay, and yes, you need a monitor. Without the monitor, you don't know what the computer is trying to tell you. Well, of course, there are other ways also, but for beginners, just understand monitor is the basic thing. The next one, keyboard. You have to tell the computer something. How do you do that? You give the computer command through a keyboard. All right, it is there on a desktop, it is there on a laptop, it is there on a mobile phone with the help of touchscreen keyboard. All right, the keyboard are basically those numbers and digits and alphabets that you can punch in to give a command to a computer. Next, we have another important hardware that we always use is known as the mouse. Mouse is generally not very essential, but it has become kind of essential for everyone who is using computer these days. We have a mouse on almost every desktop that we use. Those people who are smart, they know those people who are very good at computers, they only need a keyboard. But nowadays, mouse has also become a very essential part. So there is a mouse on a desktop, there is a mouse on the laptop also. For those people who have seen a laptop will understand there is a small mouse pad on which you can run your fingers, okay? And there on the mobile phone screen you have basically your entire screen is a mouse. Wherever you touch becomes a mouse. So mouse is also a very basic hardware that is required for a computer. These are, as you remember, before I began, I said these are the basic parts of a computer. To have a computer running, these are the basic things. So we have had three so far. We have had the monitor, we have had the keyboard, we have had the mouse. The fourth one is the most important part of a computer. In fact, it is the computer. Okay, and that is the CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. This is actually the computer. This is the brain of the computer. Okay, without the CPU, a computer is nothing. Computer is just a TV, a keyboard, and a mouse. It cannot function. All the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, all and also all the other hardware. Remember, they are all connected to the CPU in some way or the other. Either they are connected with wires, they are known as cables. In the world of computer, they are known as cables, or they are connected through wireless technology like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. But everything must go through the CPU. The CPU is the most important part of a computer. You can change. If the monitor gets spoiled, you can get a new monitor. If your keyboard is not functioning, you can get a new keyboard. If your mouse is not, sorry for that, if your mouse is not functioning, you can get a new mouse also. But you cannot replace a CPU. If you replace the CPU, basically you're getting a new computer. The CPU is the brain of the computer. All right. So what are the four basic hardwares of a computer? They are there on your screen. They are monitor, mouse, keyboard, and the most important, as I said, is the CPU. All right. Apart from these, there are other hardwares also that we use, and I'm pretty much sure by now you must be guessing, sir, this is also hardware, that is also a hardware. Of course, these are known as accessories of a computer. You can add them to a computer to use to get some job done. You can use them for different purposes, okay? But these are accessories, these are attachments, these are extra parts. So what are the more examples of hardware that we have? The webcam, from which I'm just recording my video right now, is the webcam. After the webcam, what is on your screen? Speakers, yes. Whether you're listening speakers through your headphones or the ones that are attached to your computer, they are also part of it. If they're attached to a computer and the music or a video sound is coming from the speaker, it is a hardware. All right. After that, printers, yes. A lot of it is being used by many people. Whatever you design on a computer, people take a printout. So the printer is connected to the computer. It's also a hardware. Yes, game controllers. For those people who play games, online games, they know that these are small devices with which you can play games. These are also hardware, and there are a plenty of hardware that I can talk about. Okay, this is all for you to just guess around. If you look at a computer hardware, you have to, if you look at a part of a computer, you have to find out whether it's a hardware or what kind of hardware it is. Okay. Well, even hardwares are divided into different categories, which we will discuss in the classes coming next. Okay. So with that, we come to the end of the hardware section. We'll do a small recap. Hardware is basically any part of a computer that can be touched. All right. So that was hardware. Yes. When we talk about hardware, and there are lots and lots of them, okay, the most important hardware in a computer is the one on your screen. It is called the microprocessor. Okay, it is the real heart of the computer. Alright, the microprocessor resides inside the CPU. As I said, CPU is the most important part. Inside the CPU, you will find the microprocessor, the small chip. Okay, that is where all the calculations of the computer is done. Okay, so next time somebody talks about this is one of the most important questions, that what is the most important hardware in a computer? The most important hardware is the microprocessor of the computer. Okay, with that we come to the end of the discussion with hardware. Now let us proceed to our next section. It is computer software. And before I continue with computer software, let me remove my obnoxious little face right in the corner. As you can see, computer software is right on top. I think so I'll be here somewhere in the corner. Yes, somewhere right in the corner. Sorry, I'm not going to disturb you. Everything's on the screen here. Now, what is computer software? Now, this is where you have to understand simply and slowly. What is software? The software, in simple terms, is that part of the computer that you cannot touch. Now, what is that part of the computer that you cannot touch? What are these things? Basically, as you can see, as it is there on my screen, software is a set of instructions given to a computer to perform a particular task. Basically, softwares are those things that are installed into a computer which does things. Like for example, if I were to take your mobile phone, you buy a mobile phone from the market, you get the mobile phone at home. What is a mobile phone? It is a screen, it has got battery, it has got a small port where you can put the headphones on, the charger, etc, etc, etc. You put the phone on, the phone comes on, and there are a lot of things on the phone. But there are certain things you want more on the phone. Like you would want to have an Instagram account. You download Instagram into your phone. You want to have TikTok videos. For that, you need to download TikTok videos. So these are things that are software. These are instructions that you download from the net, or you can, in case of a computer, you can copy and paste from another computer also. So softwares are basically a set of instructions. These are things that are told to the computer that when I tell you this, you do this. Okay, that is something that you cannot generally touch. All right, so that is software. Little difficult to understand, I can get it. As and more we study more in our classes of computer, you'll understand it more. So today is just basic introduction to software. All right, so our next question: computer software. As you can see on the screen, Windows, Office, AVG, Flash. These are all types of software. There are countless types of software. I'm not only talking about these ones. There are lots and lots of them. All right. There are different types of software. You can name a million of them. I know I can name a million of them. Like if I'm talking about a computer, there are gaming softwares. There are Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. Antivirus is a software. Video editing software. YouTube is a software. Google Chrome is a software. If you look at a mobile phone, as I discussed, TikTok is a software, very popular these days. YouTube, Google Classroom is a software. So these are different types of software. You can't get in touch Google Classroom. It's on your screen. You just give the computer commands, and the computer does things on Google Classroom for you. All right. So these are softwares. Now, like the most important hardware was the microprocessor, the most important software in a computer is the operating system. Now, what is the operating system? The operating system is the first software that starts on your computer. When you put your computer on, if you start a mobile phone or if you start a computer, the first software that starts is known as the operating system. The operating system is basically the traffic policeman, or should I say the owner. Imagine that your computer is like a shop. Okay, there are different kinds of items available in a shop, from food items to stationery to chocolates, ice creams, etc, etc, etc. And you go to a shop and you want something. What do? You tell the shopkeeper. Just visualize that the shopkeeper is your operating system. Okay, you give a command to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper will go and execute it inside the shop. You tell, I want chocolates. He will go to the particular chocolate section, bring out the chocolate for you. Similarly, in a computer, the operating system is the controller of the computer. Okay, whatever new software that you install will be by the permission of the operating system, and the operating system will run it. If the operating system cannot run a particular software, you cannot install it on your computer. Okay, so again, two high levels, break it down simple. The shopkeeper is the controller of the operating system, is the controller of your computer. Okay, the first software that loads up on your computer when you start it. All right, when you start a computer, you cannot just, it's not like a tube light, right? You just don't switch it on and the light comes on. No, when you start a mobile phone also, you see, you put it on and you wait for the screen to come. Why do you have to wait? Because that waiting time is the time when the operating system is starting. Okay, operating system takes some time to start. Fine. Like a shopkeeper, he'll come into the shop, he'll open the shop, he'll arrange things, and then he'll start talking to you, right? Similarly, even the operating system takes some time to start, even in whether it's computers or phones or anywhere. What are the different types of operating system? Now let's see if you have guesses right. Or you must have guessed it by now. Let us see all the ones that are coming on your screen. Yes, Windows, the most popular operating system for computers. As you can see on my screen, Windows. When you start a computer, what happens? This Windows screen comes and you have to wait for the desktop to come. So Windows is telling you that, look, I am the shopkeeper. I will run your computer. Whatever you need to tell me, tell the computer or get the computer done, you tell me and I will have it done. Okay? Windows is one. Another popular software that we have is Linux. I understand most of you may not know, but those people who know computers and in the world of computers, just give me a moment. In the world of computers, Linux is a very popular software. It is used by many people. Linux is quite cute, right? A cute looking penguin is their icon. So Linux is another one. The next one, iOS, the operating system that is used for Apple phones and Apple computers. Apple, as you can see, the screen is showing you visualization of Apple. So that is the operating system. When you start an Apple phone or you start an Apple computer, the first screen is of the iOS. This is the symbol of iOS. Last and the most popular one. Guess. Let's see if your guess is right or not. Okay. Yes, our very favorite, Android. When you start a mobile phone, what happens? You start a mobile phone and you wait and you see on your screen will come Android, right? Different versions of Android. There are different types of Android. Like Windows has got Windows 10, Windows 7. Even Android has got different versions. Good dancing, right? Oh, idiot, stop dancing. See, he's not listening to me also. So, Android is one of the most popular operating systems. So these are the various. Oh, again, Alok sir has come in between and he's occupying. Oh, yeah, I'll be right in the middle. Yes, so I'll be here. So these are the various operating systems, and there are few of them others also. As in, when you grow up in the world of computers, you will learn operating systems also. Now we have studied hardware, basic hardware, other examples of hardware, the most important hardware. We have today talked about software. What are the software basically? The most important software and some of the examples of the most important software. Alright? And with that, we come to the end of today's session of computers. Our session was for parts of computer. And so before I end the session today, once again, I'll reiterate to you, you can get back to me for any confusions or any queries that you may have. You can write in the comment section of Google Classroom and attend the class, attend the activity. If you cannot do something, ignore it, leave it and proceed. You can get back to me at the end of the class. You can leave a comment in Google Classroom. I will come back and look at it as and when I have time and I am available. Or, of course, as I said, you can get back to me through the personal communications through WhatsApp also. So that was the end of our session today, and we will proceed out of the session. As I said in the previous class also, it's a little dangerous outside, so be safe, be careful. Okay, don't be scared, be careful. Okay, ensure that you keep your cleanliness and hygiene very, very nicely. Wash your hands. Okay, and wash your hands a million times if required, and don't keep things dirty around you. And with that small message, I wish you all the best and stay safe at home. With this, Alok sir saying bye bye. Go back to the Google Classroom app and attempt the activity. Okay. With that, Alok sir saying.
On a final note, kids, don't forget to eat your broccoli. It's good for you.